Just when you thought they couldn't get any dumber, Lucasfilm goes and does something like this and totally confirms how dumb they are. My goodness. Even me, the guy who's been sitting here for over 2 years, telling you point blank how dumb Lucasfilm is, how stupid they are at Lucasfilm, even me, I am actually surprised that they are this dumb. It's like it just keeps getting worse. It is laughable at this point. And if you are out there and accepting this and going, yeah, that's a great storyline. That makes total sense. Yeah, I totally buy this. You're as dumb as Lucasfilm. You are as dumb and as gullible of anybody out there. If you're eating up this nonsense, you are exactly who they are targeting this nonsense to. There is no way that people are this dumb. I refuse to believe people are this dumb. I am just going to believe that you want to stay in Disney's good graces, because there is absolutely no way that anyone can look at this objectively and say, yeah, that sounds like a great plan right there. I'm really feeling this. I'm really feeling this. It's terrible. It's beyond terrible, and it's very stupid. Star Wars confirms Rey's father is a failed Palpatine clone. The Star Wars Rise of Skywalker novelization reveals Rey's father is actually a failed clone of Palpatine. One of the biggest and most controversial reveals in the film is that Rey is actually the Emperor's granddaughter, descending from ultimate evil. While Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams and co-writer Chris Terrio have done their best to explain why this plot twist is compelling, some viewers took issue with how seemingly retconned The Last Jedi stance on Rey being from nowhere and her parents being nobodies. The Rise of Skywalker tries, from a certain point of view, its way around this, but it didn't work for everyone. It didn't work for anyone. Literally, no one with common sense actually likes this. Besides arguably clashing with the themes and developments of The Last Jedi, Rey Palpatine obviously had huge implications with the larger Star Wars canon. At the time of The Rise of Skywalker's release, the information presented made it appear as if Palpatine had been intimate with an unknown woman, giving birth to a son. For the past few months, fans have speculated who Rey's grandmother could be, but now it's confirmed she doesn't have one. These people are so stupid. Like, this is so funny. They are so dumb. During the scene on Exegol, blah, blah, blah. She has visions of her grandfather's past. This passage in the book reveals after a return to the Jedi, Palpatine thrusts his consciousness into a clone body. However, the transfer was imperfect, and members of the Sith Eternal worked tirelessly to engineer a new vessel for Palpatine's essence. One of the attempts is described as a useless, powerless failure, who was a not quite identical clone. While this body wasn't fit to house Palpatine's power, it was still able to live and eventually became Rey's father. What? It hurts. It hurts. It just hurts. Back in January, the Rise of Skywalker editor Marianne Brandon revealed they cut additional Palpatine backstory in an effort to condense the film. And it's possible this information is what she was referring to. Brandon had mentioned that initially the movie got more in-depth into what was keeping Palpatine alive, and it's been confirmed the Rise of Skywalker script included a line about Palpatine being a clone. While it's understandable why the Rise of Skywalker creative team wanted to keep things moving and economically find a way around the topic of Palpatine's return, a case can be made it would have been good to include some of this in the film. Wait a minute. It would have been good to include things in the film to not have plot holes? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? This is Lucasfilm, damn it, under Kathleen Kennedy. We're not worried about plot holes and telling a good story. We're worried about representation and diversity, because diversity is our strength. It may have cleared up some questions people had. Palpatine's role in Rise of Skywalker received criticism in some circles for coming across as sudden and tacked on within the context of the sequel trilogy. His past between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens could have been fleshed out. It'll be interesting to see if any future canon materials explore more of Rey's father's story. What's fascinating is that even though Palpatine was extremely disappointed in his not quite identical clone, and the body couldn't serve the purpose for which it was built, Rey's dad was able to leave Exegol and lead a life. One might have expected Palpatine to order the clone to be destroyed so there could be more here. Perhaps he envisioned his failed cloning or clone fathering a child who could assume the Sith throne. Palpatine was always thinking ahead with his master plan, so that wouldn't be out of the question. It just hurts the more I'm reading the speculation. Ugh. So you've got all this additional footage that was cut out, yet they don't add any deleted scenes in the Blu-ray release. That's been confirmed. It's like, again, man, even me, who has been talking about how dumb these people are, even I am astonished at how incredibly stupid this is. This is absolutely unbelievable. What kind of morons are working at Lucasfilm? I mean, honestly, how much more right can I be? How much more right can I be? I mean, everything I've said is actually true. These people are so stupid. They are absolutely incompetent to the highest order. Oh my God. Now Palpatine, so basically it's Rey's dad. So Palpatine is Rey's father and her grandfather? So that would mean, wait, what? I don't, this is so bad. This is so bad. Everything I have said on this channel for over 2 years has been justified. These people are stupid. They don't care about Star Wars. They care nothing about Star Wars. They just don't care. All they care about is diversity and representation. All they care about is woke virtue signaling. And when that's your focus, when that is the number one thing that you are focused on, storytelling, history, canon, continuity, none of that matters. And this is why we're in this position right here. My goodness. Again, this is unbelievably stupid. I can't process how dumb you have to be to get to this point where you're now in this position where you are retroactively trying to fix your obvious mistakes by creating more mistakes and more plot holes and more problems and more stupidity. My God. Kathleen Kennedy is a front runner, okay? And what we refer to as a front runner, okay? As a sports fan, I know you guys don't like when I talk sports. That's why I created a sports channel, so you don't have to hear me talk about sports. But this relates perfectly. Certain players, like LeBron James is a front runner. So when things are good, when the game is in hand, when he's ahead, he plays a lot better. But when he's behind or when the pressure is there, he's not as good, especially when he's behind, when he has to work harder to get there, all right? Kathleen Kennedy is a front runner, all right? When she was handed Lucasfilm by George Lucas, when she was handed the keys to the kingdom by Bob Iger, she had all of this goodwill, all of this excitement, all of the nostalgia, everything going for her. And we all bought, not everyone, but my God, like the heavy majority, present party included, bought into The Force Awakens. And if you remember all of those questions we had, all of that build up, what's Rey, or who's Rey's parents? Who is Rey? Why is she so powerful? Why is Luke on the island? What happens when Rey is about to hand the lightsaber to Luke? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? Oh, he's going to pick it up. He's going to be badass. He's going to fight this person. He's going to fight Kylo Ren. He's going to fight Snoke. Oh, it's going to be great. He's going to come back. And it's going to be so awesome. We just freaked out over that for like 2 years. And she was the front runner. And she was there in front of the cameras, just hyping it up, answering all the questions, or at least trying to act like she was answering the questions. But in reality, if you go back to all of her interviews, she never really talked about the specifics within the lore. She was always talking about the overarching bullshit about representation and making Star Wars look more like the real world. She was a front runner, and it appeared she knew what she was doing, but in reality, she never had a clue. And now that Star Wars is falling apart, she's nowhere to be found, and we see how disastrous Lucasfilm really is. It was fool's gold. It was never, ever going to work. Ever. I don't care. You can't, it's not Rian Johnson's fault specifically. It's not J.J. Abrams' fault specifically. It's not Chris Terrio. It's not whoever. Kasdan. It's not Lawrence Kasdan's fault. It's not John Kasdan's fault. It's just the problem was the moment George sold it to Disney and Kathleen Kennedy was placed in this position as a glorified secretary, it was never going to work. Ever. It didn't matter if they brought Christopher Nolan in. It didn't matter if they brought Denis Villeneuve in. It didn't matter who they brought in. The moment George sold this, it was over. So we can go back and go, oh, well, Rian Johnson messed things up. And he did. He absolutely did. But all Rian Johnson did is made it easier for us to see the flaws. And then we can say, well, J.J. Abrams messed it up. But it was messed up even before The Force Awakens because the decisions were made before anything went into production that they were going to focus on identity politics and representation and all of that bullshit. It was never, ever going to work. And now we are seeing it crumble before our very eyes with the incredible stupidity on display. Unbelievable. Wow. I am truly astonished that they are this dumb. And that's shocking because I've been calling them dumb for a long time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Whew. I can't even. Thank you. I'm just going to say, I just got to end this up. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Reylos are weird. Kathleen Kennedy is a complete and total piece of human garbage. This woman is the worst. She is the most incompetent. She is the most unqualified person I have ever seen for a position in my life. You guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later.